Morning Joe and the Pro, Ralph Michaels and the Prez, both found at WagerTalk.com. It's Thursday. I'm 50. A huge thank you to all the people who put up comments after yesterday's show wishing me happy birthday. It really is appreciated. Ralph Michaels and I, we're going to talk some NBA, but first let's get into what is going on at WagerTalk.com. Tony had a play yesterday. It got rained out, so his run continues. 8-0 baseball run, 17-2 in his last 19. And he's not the only one. Marco D'Angelo, 7 straight winners in baseball. He's got a play up today at WagerTalk.com as well. Oskim Sports has a 5% play in the NBA. And I have a 5% play in NHL, although the game only goes on Monday. Ralph, what is up, my brother?
A question for you. Did you make a mistake on your game? 5% plays are supposed to be $30. What the heck are you doing and selling it for $9? What a value.
Yeah, I'm going to have to change that. I'll give the listeners a head start, and we'll change it by in a couple of hours.
Awesome.
So they can head over and get it for the $9. I don't know why it is that way. Anyway, NBA tonight, brother. The Raps +7. Over and under 215.5. Lowest total so far. I'll give you my thoughts right off the bat, Ralph. I think +7 is too much. I think you've seen the Raps play Milwaukee 2 games in a row really tight. Granted, one went to double overtime, but don't forget that double overtime game was a little bit phony. Pascal Siakam missed 2 free throws at the end of that game that would have put that game away in regulation. And then the Raptors without Kyle Lowry and Gasol and whatnot won in the double overtime. And then they dominated Milwaukee last game. Now, we see this all the time. You know, you can't really look at last game and say, okay, well, Toronto's going to go into Milwaukee and destroy them. That's just not true. But I do think this game is going to be very close. I like the points here. And also, I like over the total, Ralph. It's a low number tonight. I think we only really need one big quarter to get it over 215.5. And I don't mind the +240 money line. I think the Raptors could actually win this game. I hand it to you.
Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record. And the deeper we go into these playoffs, the more pressure this young Bucks team is going to feel. Yes, it's easy to win those first 2 games at home, but we saw them go on the road and we saw them become a mediocre team. You know, they shot 37%, where the home team has won each of the first 4 games in the conference finals. The home team is 9-4 straight up, 8-5 against the spread, and they have won and covered 5 straight, which favors Milwaukee. But again, this is an experienced, although not very deep Toronto team now with some players banged up. But again, with the game off between the playoffs, you know, I agree with you. I think, if anything, again, I'm not going to have a play on this game. We're talking about one game. If this game were being played in the regular season, I would have no play on this. But if I'm going to put a play out for our viewers here, I expect Milwaukee to bounce back big and would bet the Bucks in the first quarter. You know, I think you're going to lay a basket. I think you have that strong home edge again. I think you have them being very desperate after losing the last 2, that I think they get off to a fast start. Kawhi then brings them up later and keeps them into play. The Bucks at home, in each of their playoff games this year so far, on the playoff season, they're only allowing 99 points per game. So for you to get there over, Toronto's certainly going to have to shoot better than they did the first 2 times here, where they shot 30 and 42%.
Yeah, but I think those were anomalies. You know, if you look at Danny Green and Gasol and Ibaka, they just couldn't buy a bucket those first 2 games. I don't think that's something that is going to continue. We saw the bench for the Raptors in the last game play outstanding. I mean, Fred Van Fleet and Norman Powell, Ibaka, these guys accounted for close to 50 points, those three themselves. Yeah, I think we're going to get balanced scoring from the Raptors. I like the over. I like the Raptors here. But I'm a fan too tonight, Ralph, and I like that. You know, it's very rare for me to be a fan. Normally it's like, who am I betting? And then I just cheer for them. But, you know, I feel like the Raptors can take the next step and get to the finals. And I think it's probably the only chance the Raps have in signing Kawhi, which makes no sense to me because based on Kawhi's personality and, you know, lack of, you know, wanting to talk to the media or be in the spotlight, Toronto seems to be a perfect place for this guy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I mean, Norman Powell averaging 17 points the last 3 games has really been the difference maker. So, you know, can he go back and do it on the road? We'll see. But I agree with you. This is the rare time that I can start watching the NBA and be a fan. I mean, the regular season to me is brutal. That's why I don't handicap many plays. You're having to handicap motivation. And we just have legitimate, quality teams playing for something important on the line, and we finally get to watch some good basketball.
He's Ralph Michaels. I'm the Prez, Morning Joe, and the Pro. No puck time, but we do have a puck time show on Friday with Alex, Andrew, and Carmine. All of us, we're going to do a Stanley Cup preview show, and we do a first pitch today with Teddy and Dave Koken, so make sure to check that out. And also, like I was saying yesterday, stay tuned in, guys, because over the next month, a lot of these videos are going to change. I'm building a studio in my house. It's going to be much more professional, much more structured, and as we get into football season, these videos are only going to get better. Ralph, any last thoughts, and then we'll get out of here.
You know, going back to your Stanley Cup play for $9, Johnny may have done that because the game is Monday, and of course, every capper at WagerTalk on Mondays, those cards are $9. So maybe he's just doing an early preview for that for you.
Oh, there you go. Ralph, thanks, brother. We'll see you next week for First Pitch and Morning Joe. You're awesome. Listeners, thanks for watching, and we will speak to you all later.
Thanks, Press.